Yesterday in Parliament, Robert Jenrick and then Priti Patel both gave speeches which looked more like leadership election pitches than contributions to the debate about the King's speech. Kemi Badenoch was strangely silent. She holds a precarious position within the Conservative Party following the recent general election defeat, having served as Business and Trade Secretary and then now she's Shadow Housing Secretary. Badenoch has long harboured leadership ambitions coming forth in the last contest, and her tenure in high-profile roles under Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, raised her profile, but her association with Sunak's troubled administration has damaged her standing, particularly with the party's right-wing faction. Following the election, leaks suggested that Badenoch harshly criticised Sunak to his face in the shadow cabinet for strategic missteps, such as calling for an early election and mishandling key events. This distancing from Sunak indicates her intention to position herself as a leadership contender, particularly appealing to the party's right. So in other words, she was responsible for these leaks because she wanted people to know that there was water between herself and Sunak, even if she put it there. The Conservative Party faces significant decisions, including the duration and mechanics of the leadership contest, whether Sunak should remain as leader during this period, and Conservative members are divided, with many favouring a medium-length contest concluding by the party's September conference. Many also believe that it should go a little bit further and party contest should be part of that debate. The majority prefer Sunak to stay on until a new leader is chosen, whatever the debate about when that leadership contest takes place, despite his role in the party's worst electoral defeat. Badenoch's narrative blames Sunak for the defeat, presenting herself as the sensible right candidate with strong Brexit credentials, in the shadow of somebody, as Sunak pointed out, who's 44 and positioning himself as a retired old guard. Other potential contenders would include James Cleverly, advocating unity and moderation, Suella Braverman, of course, who I think has now firmly been knocked out, whose credibility has taken some hits because of her attacks on the LGBTQ plus flag and her maniacal caterwauling. Robert Jenrick, of course, Priti Patel, Tom Tugendhat, all of these are potential candidates. Despite being the front runner, according to recent polls, Badenoch's success is uncertain, dependent on the party's introspection and adaptation to opposition. The Conservatives must understand that their electoral loss is genuine, and they must adjust to effectively opposing the Labour government, which will significantly influence the leadership contest's outcome. And I think at the moment they can't even take it for granted that they're going to continue to be the party, the main party in opposition. Should the Conservative Party fracture publicly, and should a number of them go off to join Reform, which is probably where some of them belong, then they will lose the role of being the main opposition to the Liberal Party and to the Lib Dems. And that would be an extraordinary descent and entirely a result of self-obsession, this, as I said earlier, this onanistic compulsion.